Hello aspirants, welcome to Excellence. Welcome to the session on Current Affairs for Beginners. In this session, I am going to tell you about the terms, concepts, schemes and institutions that appeared in today's newspaper, that is 7th June 2018. Let me tell you the answers for yesterday's questions. The first question is, the Environment Protection Act was enacted in which year? The answer is C. 1986. The second question is, which of the following are members of quadrilateral grouping? The answer is D. India, Japan, US and Australia. The first article is, maternal mortality ratio in the country drops to 130 from 167. What is this maternal mortality ratio? This is the annual number of maternal deaths per 1 lakh live births for any cause related to or aggravated by pregnancy or its management. What is this maternal death? This is the death of a woman at the time of pregnancy or within 42 days of termination of pregnancy, irrespective of the duration and site of the pregnancy, from any cause related to or aggravated by the pregnancy or its management. Remember, if a pregnant woman dies due to accident or any incidental causes, that is not considered as a maternal death. And why this is in news? The maternal mortality ratio in the India has declined from 167 in 2011-13 to 130 in 2014-16. The next article is Defend the Deal. In this article, we can see United Nations Security Council, UNSC. This is one of the 6 main organs of the United Nations which was established by the UN Charter. The other organs of United Nations are United Nations General Assembly, United Nations Secretariat, already discussed, United Nations Security Council, International Court of Justice, Trusteeship Council and Economic and Social Council. Let us discuss this United Nations Security Council in detail. For what it is for maintaining peace and security. When any complaint concerning a threat to peace is brought before it, this council will consolidate it in 3 ways. The first is, it will try to reach an agreement between both the parties by peaceful means. If the dispute leads to hostilities, then it will try to issue ceasefire directives, that is, for temporarily stoppage of war to prevent any escalation of the conflict. And the second one is, it will dispatch its military observers or peacekeeping forces to help reduce tensions. And if the hostility goes beyond this, then the council may opt any of the enforcement measures, like it will impose economic sanctions, it will impose financial penalties and restrictions, travel bans, or severing of diplomatic relations or blockade. The next thing we have to discuss is, who are its members, UNSC members. There will be 15 members, 5 are permanent and 10 are non-permanent members. These 5 permanent members are China, Russia from Asia, UK and France from European countries and US. And these 10 members are non-permanent members which are elected, like 5 of these members elect for every 2-year period. These people are elected on regional basis, that is 5 people from Africa Asia region, 1 from East Europe, 2 from Latin America and Caribbean regions and 2 from West Europe and other countries. The next article is NHRC seeks report from West Bengal. Here we have to see what is this commission. NHRC, National Human Rights Commission. It was established in 1993 through the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993, which was amended in 2006. Since it is enacted by the Parliament through the legislation, it can be called as a statutory body. And for any commission that may be a constitutional body or a non-constitutional body, we have to see some things. That is, who are the members of that commission, how they are appointed, what is the tenure of these people, what is the removal process of these people, and what are the functions of these commissions. Now, the members. Let us see who are its members. It is a multi-member body consisting of a chairman and 4 members. The chairman should be a retired Chief Justice of India, and members should be serving or retired judges of Supreme Court or a serving or retired Chief Justice of High Court, and 2 persons having knowledge or practical experience with respect to human rights. In addition to these full-time members, we'll have 4 ex officio members. They are chairman for National Commission for Minorities, National Commission for Women, and National Commission for SC, and the National Commission for ST. And now, who will appoint these members? They are appointed by the President on the recommendation of a 6-member committee. There will be Prime Minister, leaders of opposition of both the houses, and Speaker of Lok Sabha, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, and Central Home Minister. And the next one is, what is the tenure of these members? They hold office for a term of 5 years or until they attain the age of 70 years, whichever is the earlier. After their tenure, remember, these chairmen and members are not eligible for further employment under the central or state government. And the removal process. President can remove the chairman and any member from the office by following certain criteria. And the functions of NHRC are to inquire into any violation of human rights, either suo motu or on a petition presented to it, or on an order of court. It will visit jails and detention places to study the living conditions of inmates, and it will review the constitutional and other legal safeguards for the protection of human rights. It will review the factors including acts of terrorism, and it will study treaties and other international instruments on human rights, and it will undertake and promote research in the field of human rights. It will spread human rights literacy among the people and promote awareness of the safeguards available for the protection of these rights. And it will encourage the efforts of NGOs working in the field of human rights, and it will undertake such other functions it may consider necessary for the promotion of human rights. Next article is preemptive strike. In this article, we have to see what is this Monetary Policy Committee. To explain this, we have to know 2 words. One is inflation and the second one is repo rate. Inflation is the rate at which the general levels of price for goods and services is rising, and consequently the purchasing power of currency is falling. That is, the prices will rise and the purchasing power will fall. Second one is repo rate. If any commercial bank, in the event of any shortfall of funds, if it needs money, RBI will give money to this commercial banks. It will have some interest rate called as repo rate. This is the rate at which central bank of a country, that is Reserve Bank in India, lends money to commercial banks in the event of any shortfall of funds. And this is used by any monetary authorities like Monetary Policy Committee to control inflation. If there is inflation, central bank will increase repo rate, then banks will lend less money, and then money supply in the market will reduce, and thereby inflation reduces. And if there is deflation, then central bank will reduce repo rate and banks will lend more and money supply in the market will increase, and then the deflation can be controlled. And the present repo rate is 6.25%. And the next one is Monetary Policy Committee. It is the committee of RBI that is responsible for fixing the benchmark interest rate in India. That is like repo rate, reverse repo rate, all these. The meetings of the Monetary Policy Committee are held at least 4 times a year, and the committee comprises of 6 members, 3 officials from RBI and 3 external members nominated by Government of India, and the Governor of RBI is the chairperson of the committee. And the decisions are taken by the majority, with the Governor having the casting vote in case of tie. And the current mandate of this committee is to maintain 4% annual inflation until the March 31st, 2021, with an upper tolerance of 6% and the lower tolerance of 2%. That is, it should not go below 2% and it should not rise above 6%. And the committee was created in 2006 to bring transparency and accountability in fixing India's monetary policy. And this committee is answerable to the Government of India. Remember, it is the Government of India and not any ministries. And it will answerable only when if the inflation exceeds the range prescribed for 3 consecutive months. Try to answer today's questions. The first question is, which of the following are correct regarding the Monetary Policy Committee? It decides RBI benchmark interest rates, or it is a 12-member body including the Governor of RBI. The second question is, consider the following statements about National Human Rights Commission. It is a constitutional body, and the second option is, it is the watchdog of human rights in the country. Thank you.